salen. Venga.
Dime. Me gustaría mucho que el ruido esté muy, muy, muy alto, porque ahora vamos a tener acá, en escenario de Omelete, ¡Álvaro Morte! ¡Y Sweeney!
Buenos días a todos.
Gracias por
Buenos días.
Hola. Por favor, tomen asiento. Welcome home. Please have a seat, Sydney. My God, welcome to Mexico, guys. Look at that. Did you imagine this was going to happen? Did you imagine this was going to happen, Sydney?
No, this is crazy. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Álvaro. Thank you, Sydney, for being here in Mexico City. It's a blessing for us, right?
Okay, I think it's better for us not to start this conversation with blessings, right, Sweeney, right, Álvaro? So
maybe.
Let's leave the blessings behind, I think.
Well, if Álvaro has a ring, I can kiss the ring before we start and then have this blessing. But no, let's forget this.
I'll say no blessing, no kissing. Well, not in here, maybe in backstage. What about that? It seems fair, so let's get this started. How are you guys? Are you excited?
Well, Sweeney and Álvaro, this is a story of a girl that went to work in a foreign country and got involved in a sinister cult. We have gigs here. We have this sinister cult going on here. How cool is to be here at CCXP? How was inside the Thunder stage with people there? How is the Mexico people treating you so far?
We've been having an amazing time. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Well, I think here in Mexico, we are the best fans ever. Is this your first time here in Mexico?
Well, it's not my first time. I've been here in Ciudad de Mexico. It's my second time. I've been also in Playa del Carmen, and I have to say that I love Mexico. I mean, very nice people, very nice food, of course. Your culture is so amazing. So I'm so glad every time I'm coming to Mexico.
Well, one huge part of our culture is horror movies, for sure, right? We were saying las películas de terror, guys, okay? We love them. We are a little bit hard to get some scared, you know? It's not that easy for us because we're Mexicans. So please, we want to know how was for you guys work in a horror story.
It's a lot of fun. I absolutely love being drenched in blood. It's a blast.
And for you, Álvaro, because you already lived some horror moments in other series you've made, but not that kind of horror.
Not that kind. And in this case, in Immaculate, in Immaculada that I'm performing, you will see a villain. It's so much fun to perform a villain within a horror movie. And I have to say that working with Sydney and the rest of the cast, we were shooting this in Italy. Very nice people as well. When you are Spanish, working in Italy is like working at home. And we were having, as Sydney was saying, such a lot of fun working in this movie. Michael Mohan, the director, was also helping us to jump into the characters, and we were just laughing and making jokes, and suddenly he was saying action, and you're like, okay, now we jump into the character.
Whoa, transform.
And Sweeney, it's really nice to know that you had fun, because that's a project you wanted to do for a long time, and you had to produce it in order for it to come to life. So can you tell us a little bit more about your experience in actually producing Immaculate?
Yeah, so Immaculate was a film that I actually auditioned for when I was 16. And I fell in love with the script, I fell in love with the character, but they never ended up making it. And every year I'd follow up with my team, I'd say, hey, whatever happened with this movie? Did they make it? Who got it? And they never did. So as I got older, I started realizing I really wanted to make it myself. And I set out to build the team and put the entire package together. And I hired Michael Mohan, our director, and got our financiers involved, and then met Alvaro literally a day before I started location scouting in Italy. We met in Spain at a gala, and I was sitting next to him, and the entire time I'm staring at him going, oh my gosh, he'd be so perfect for Immaculate.
What a coincidence.
He's gonna think I'm so weird. Because the next day I landed in Italy, and I saw the entire team. I was like, we have to hire Álvaro Morte.
Nice. This sounds like this was the way it had to be,
Yeah.
right?
The planets aligning.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing, Marcelo, is that I heard that you wrote this when you were 15 years.
No, I auditioned for it. Then yeah, and then as we got closer, Michael, our writer Andrew LaBelle, and we all like reworked the script, because
Okay.
originally it was actually set in an all-girls boarding school in Ireland, and then we changed it to be in Italy in a convent.
But since you were a teenager, you were always attracted for horror and
I love horror
suspense.
films.
Okay.
My dad is a huge fan, and he had me watching everything from such a young age.
Have you got
Me
like a
too.
top list?
Do I have a top list?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, there's so many greats. I mean, John Carpenter, all of
Ugh,
his
love
Halloween, The Thing,
Obviously.
The Shining, Exorcist, all of it.
Pennywise, it's my favorite. ¿Alguien ama It por aquí? Pennywise? Okay, right.
And this is mine. The Terrifier. We got so many. Alvaro, what's about the religious symbolism that it kind of mixes very well with horror? We have here the set is all playing. Is it mine?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Please stand up. Yeah.
We have the whole movie being set in a convent. Why do you think the religious thing is like it combines very well with horror as well?
Well,
Is a Catholic guilty maybe?
yeah, I mean, well, first of all, the iconography. I grew up in a small village in the south of Spain, and I remember being 8 years old, and in the Semana Santa we had these parades with these beautiful pieces of art, but they are kind of creepy, they are dark, because maybe that suffering connects you with the suffer that Jesus was suffering in the cross or whatever. So this iconography is kind of dark and creepy, and also I would say that the conception itself of the faith, that to believe in something which is not concrete, I mean, it's not demonstrated that it's true. I mean, you can believe in God, but no one said, hey, here you go, this is God. So that believe in the unknown, I think that connects very well with the horror universe of the unexpected. So I think it's a perfect mix, actually.
And talking from your character as professor, and now you're a priest, is always someone who's in command of people.
Controlling people's mind.
People, yeah.
But no, do you know that I believe that they have some little things in common, like they both have a plan, they both are completely passionate about it, and they are obsessed. So they could be connected in some way. Yeah.
And Sweeney, there's a scene in this movie, anyone who watched the movie will know what scene I'm talking about, that hands down, it was one of the most amazing and intense actings I've ever seen in your career.
Whoa.
And I am an Euphoria fan, so I've seen lots of you on screen. So having that said, how was it for you? Like, how challenging was it for you to play Cecilia?
I just wanted to allow myself to separate and let Cecilia come out in any way. So that scene in particular, I truly felt like Sydney kind of went away, and
For sure.
everything that Cecilia was going through came out. There was fear, there was sadness, there was freedom, there was pain, and it was such a guttural, emotional journey in such a little amount of time. But it truly was almost like a therapy session in a way.
Wow.
There was so much that you could just let out emotionally.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats, it was amazing.
Thank you.
Alvaro, we spoke online. We did a CCXP, as we're doing now online during the pandemics. We were talking on Wheel of Time, but people want to see you there in Brazil, the same Sydney for you. So I have a mission to bring you guys to Brazil. How can we make this happen?
Well, I have to say that I've never been in Brazil, and I would love to go to Brazil.
Me
so
neither.
that could be an opportunity.
You were in Argentina, if
Always.
I'm not wrong, when we did the call.
I think I was, because I was shooting this movie called Objetos, and we were shooting in Spain and also in Argentina.
How about you, Sydney? What?
I would love to. My mom's always wanted to go, so if I go, I'll bring my mom.
Well,
Yes,
we
bring
have
him.
to take us 3 because I've never been to Brazil
So
too.
yeah,
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Absolutely.
welcome. Yeah.
Perfect. So, Alvaro, I have to ask, and you have to know that I'm not the person that makes like groupiness with somebody, but I'm really a fan from all your dialogues and your character and the way you do it.
Oh, well,
like,
thank you so much.
I felt in love with your character, but something that I can relate from Immaculate and with your last character is that anyway, with science or without science, faith, it's the most important thing because you, of course, trust in your team and in the way you plan the ways to get the plan in a good, like done, you know? But the faith is what keep you going. So now in this film, how it's like navigating with this science, but also faith in this duality of the father-son.
Well, thank you, first of all. And yeah, actually, the thing that was very attractive to me in terms of approaching the character was exactly that thing, the balance between a man who begins his life in the world of science and then he embraced the faith, and finding that point in that middle, that balance, was something that I thought it could be a good idea to create the character. And I love when you can perform and you can create a character which is in a line that you don't know for sure if he's good or bad. It's with the professor it's the same, with Father Tedeschi it's the same, in this very narrow line that I want to offer the opportunity to the audience to decide. I always want to make questions to the audience instead of give them statements or answers. I think it's a more interesting relationship with the audience.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's really nice to see how Álvaro dealt with like the duality of the character, but also how Sydney had fun in the project. So can we expect you both to be in new horror movies in the future, or like are you done with horror movies? Because I bet it's like an intense experience to be in a horror movie.
I'd love to do more. It's actually so much fun. Like you're laughing in between takes. You're sitting and grabbing food at Crafty covered in blood. It's a lot of fun.
Like a Halloween
With
party.
a nice cup of coffee, like
Yeah, like Alvaro's sitting there with his
blood.
coffee and his fingers broken the other way.
I would love to continue. Do you know that I'm not a huge fan of horror movies as you know,
to watch it.
to watch it, but I love to do them. So I was just thinking, being here in Mexico, how cool would it be to make a horror movie. You are fans of the horror movies here.
Yeah.
Here to make a movie here in Mexico, a horror movie with Guillermo del Toro, for example.
Dia de los Muertos,
Yeah,
tal
that would be
vez.
so amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we do that, please? Like,
I'm in.
can you pinky promise with me?
I'm gonna watch that.
Sydney can produce it.
Yeah.
And
of course.
of course. I'm talking about The two of us with Guillermo del Toro.
Also because we like controversial stuff, you know, like it happens, and more with horror movies. In fact, I heard that there were some controversial comments coming from the Vatican. So, I mean, after the premiere, and it's like, yeah, but you have more controversial stuff also.
I'm not surprised.
Exactly.
I'm not surprised.
But do you think that the way they are getting it was the first intent of message with this movie? Or they are like overthinking stuff?
Well, we always say how it's such a specific story about a specific person.
Yeah.
It's not a story about the church. It's about Cecilia, and honestly, the scariest and the most frightful thing in her world is mankind. It's not the church. It's Álvaro.
Hey,
Yeah.
And it's also this thing that's growing inside of her.
Yeah.
And you guys, actually, Cine said about being in a specific movie, but I have this doubt. Like, did you got anything from previously characters or parts that you took in other series or maybe movies that helped you to create these characters?
I like to separate my characters as much as possible from
Nice.
each other. I think that I learn as an artist from each project that I do that then enables me to take it to the next thing and grow. But I try to separate them as much as I can.
I believe that that's something that helped us to create the chemistry between us, because I think we've got some kind of the same method. We are not carrying the character with us. It's like we jump into the character, but when they say action, but when we are not in front of the camera, we are just having fun, and that connected very much. So that created some chemistry as well between us. I think it's a good thing.
Cine, you're switching from the series, it's a dramatic series, a romantic comedy, a horror. Are genres that you want to jump, both of you, genres that you want to jump and do something like superhero movies are still a thing? Or other things, action, westerns,
I'd love to do like fantasy sci-fi.
fantasy, sci-fi,
Yeah.
It's Dune.
Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is you can do whatever you want because you're amazing. You're amazing too, Álvaro. First of all, for being here with us, letting us know more about Immaculate. You have to see that movie, guys. Are you excited for seeing the movie? Okay, one last thing. Do you know who Frida is? Frida Kahlo?
Of course.
Okay. I first wanted to ask. I have a gift for you, Sydney, because here in Mexico, we not only like cosplaying, we also give all the time to the fans, to the artists from the fans. Yes. Okay. I have two gifts, in fact. Thank you. So art is part of us for sure. Frida is one of our best artists, and we like to represent Cecilia with Frida mixed up. And for you, Álvaro, too, we have one of our gods here in Mexico, made from artists. So this is for you guys.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, I love
This
it.
is Frida as Cecilia.
Wow.
So it's like kind of you and Frida and Cecilia at the same time. And one of our best warriors here in Mexico. And I think that that's what you are, Álvaro. You represent the world of acting and your partners at the series as a warrior. And I think that that's what happened with La Casa de Papel, that you represent like the union and a good leader, you know? So that's what you are. So that's what we can
Thank
give
you
this
so
one.
much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So Mariana is the artist. Thanks for her. It's amazing. Thank you guys again
Thank
for
you. This
being
is
here.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
guys, please say goodbye to
A great
Álvaro.
applause to Sweeney and Álvaro Morte.
A huge applause. Un aplauso súper fuerte al estilo mexicano para Álvaro Morte y Sydney Sweeney, por favor. Vamos a tomar a picture over here. Yes, thank you. ¡Más aplauso! And what about Álvaro?
A round of applause for them!
Gracias, gracias.
Thank you.
Muchísimas gracias a todos. Muchas gracias.
A round of applause for Sweeney and Álvaro Morte!
Thank you guys. Goodbye. Un aplauso de despedida para Sweeney y Álvaro.
Álvaro Morte and Sweeney. Thank you very much.